And welcome back, everybody. This is Leah sitting in here in the hot seat at WRMN. Welcome back. Of course, you know I am a big fan of theater. And if you remember, when there's performances that are happening in town, especially if it is involving the theater, if it's involving Side Street, if it's involving the Showcase, Elgin Theater Company, I like to have folks in the studio just to help promote it because I know the work that goes behind one of these productions. So right now I'm going to welcome you into our crew that is joining us right now on set. We have got 4 young men that are coming to the table here tonight for the presentation of The Outsiders, coming to the Elgin Art Showcase. So welcome, gentlemen.
Welcome. Hi,
thank you for having us.
You betcha, you bet. So 4 of the gentlemen here, and if you can see them across the board, I'm going to kind of grab myself off the screen because you don't need to see me as much. We want to hear what the guys have to say. First of all, let's do a little name calling here. When we start from the left, we'll start with you, Nick. Why don't you let the folks know your name and then where you are, who you are playing when it comes to The Outsiders.
Awesome. My name is Nick Lemaster, and I play Johnny Cade.
Nice. All right. Let's go to Liam.
My name is Liam, and I play Ponyboy.
Got it. And Brick?
My name is Brick Zurich, and I'm playing Dallas Winston.
Got it.
My name is Julian Russ. I'll be playing Two-Bit.
And the thing about that I love hearing these voices is, first of all, the voices definitely fit the character. And if you guys have never seen The Outsiders, I brought this up before, and I think Jonathan, who is one of the individuals behind this production, Jonathan Horn. John, you better just come up here and just say hi at least to everybody, for everyone out there. There he goes. He says hi. And you may have noticed I've had him in the studio before. And when I found out they were doing Outsiders, I think I said instantly to you on Facebook, I said, I want to be a part of it. So whatever it is that you do, I want you coming this way. Now, you guys are all too young, but the book that came out, was it S.E. Hinton? Is that who did the book, right?
Yep. Yeah.
How many of you were familiar with the book or the play prior to doing this? Okay, Brick, yes? Everybody was?
We all ready.
Yeah, we all.
Is it high school reading again still?
I had it in middle school.
Middle school, actually, yeah.
Eighth grade.
Yeah, and that's exactly where I had it too, which was great. And that was probably one of the first books that I read that got me excited about reading.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to
100%.
all the other literary things they throw at you, and it's just a snooze, and you got to force yourself to get through so many chapters. I think this is probably one that made me cruise through it the fastest because I wanted to see how it went. So when you found out, we'll start with you real quickly, Nick, as Johnny. When you found out that it was going to be coming a play, well, it has been a play, but when you found it was coming to the area, were you looking to hopefully play the character that you were or not?
Yeah. As soon as I saw the audition notice, I immediately signed up. I wanted to be Johnny so bad. I love the book. I love the character.
There's such a drastic change in everybody's. How do I want to say this? So everybody's character's got their different little part that they're going to, personality that comes to the performance, right? So what do you think makes Pony or Johnny stand out so much? Why did you want to play Johnny Cake?
Johnny is just, oh my gosh. So, what do you even say about Johnny?
He's kind of like the best friend, right?
Yeah,
he's
he's
somebody
the best
that's
friend
a
of
support.
Pony. Yeah. Their relationship is so cool, and Johnny's just so intricate and complex. And he's just such a cool character to play.
And so I think, too, when you read a book, you automatically envision certain characters. Now, how many of you, when you found out that this was a play, went back to watch the movie? Did you? Yeah. Did you? You know, you're the only one that did. Did you guys?
I watched it too. Yeah.
I watched it before the audition.
If anything, at the time, that really said what a great book it was for the amount of characters. And a lot of the characters that were in the movie, this is before they were stars. So the fact that they were so superimposed into this process and into that performance was phenomenal. Now, when it comes to you, Liam, as Ponyboy, I think, is probably the one that's the quiet in the background, but has just the really tough past. I think all 4 boys really come from sheltered pasts, but have at least some of them have brothers that all stick together. But if I remember correctly, Ponyboy is the one that's just the solid figure, right? That jumps in there.
Yeah, he's kind of the black sheep. He's way different than all of his friends, and how he presents himself. He really tries to lie about being a greaser when he ultimately doesn't really want to be a greaser. He wants to be himself, but he can't.
Yeah, which I think is what everybody goes through in life. That's what I mean. There's so many deep down stories to tell. Now, Dallas is actually one of the older characters. I think the oldest brother in the troupe that's kind of got his feet wet a little bit and knows the crew and knows the story behind it, but is also trying to be a good role model. How would you describe him, if you don't mind me asking, Greg?
I think Dallas is somebody who has learned from his past that the way to keep himself safe is to be tough and to be mean. And I think in many ways he does try to set that example for the boys in his crew. But I think he's a really interesting character because he has reacted to, you mentioned like kind of trauma and traumatic past.
Yeah.
He definitely has one. And he has reacted to that in a way that contrasts with a lot of the other boys. And I think in a way that is very relevant to myself and a lot of people that I know. In terms of like shutting down, of keeping people away to keep yourself safe, and ultimately the way his story goes, and the conclusions that leads to. You'll have to come see the play to find out. But.
There you go. Well, we all put ourselves we all put these walls up, in situations that maybe are uncomfortable to us. We all put those walls up, and that's what makes them outsiders. It's how they decide to kind of create their own little family, and support system. So we're going to go right now to Julian, who plays Two-Bit. Now, one of the newbies to the stage, we'll say, because you said you hadn't been in much before. What made you want to get out there and actually be a part of this ensemble cast?
Well, ultimately, my friend Liam here, I've known him pretty much since I was born. He's been doing acting pretty much all his life.
Yeah.
So
Only
I
good thing
see
of
the
that.
outside. Yeah, I see the outsiders, and I'm like, man, I really like the book, and I would love to be on a show with Liam. And I knew Jonathan as well at the time, so I thought, what better time to, try out the waters than to try out with one of my favorite little plays, I guess.
One of them that's kind of stained your brain from elementary school or grade school, right?
Yeah.
Like you said when you read the book. Now, this is going to be taking place at if I remember right, the Elgin Art Showcase. Is that correct? And that's at 164 Division Street, which is just up the street from us here. And is that on the 8th floor? Right on the 8th floor up there. Now, the performances tickets, I think, are available right now. Is that correct? And if you want to, we'll get the website and we'll get everything like that out on our page. But right now, I just wanted to share with you a little bit again about the play if you guys were not familiar. These are 4 of the cast. How many are in the cast overall?
Is 17, 18?
Yeah.
17, 18, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
23 or 24 now. I don't know how to count.
Yeah.
Racers don't count.
We don't count them out.
Even go through elementary school.
Counting's for socias.
Yeah, there we go. Well, because that's the whole thing, though, because it is such an ensemble cast. You have rumbles, and you have this kind of going, and you guys are all like I'm even picturing. Do they wear the clothes and stuff like they wore back then? You've got the rolled up jeans, and you've got the white. Yep, you got the beater shirts. You've got the denim jackets, right?
Somebody didn't get the memo.
All I see is Nick looking down going, yeah, no, not this time. But the whole point was it had to be fun to get into that character. Now, how long, I guess what makes it stand out, we always talked about you with the role of Johnny, but let's say with you, Liam, what made you is Ponyboy the choice that you had when it came to this performance, or did you want to play one of the other characters?
I didn't think I could play another character. I don't think I was good enough for any other character. I couldn't play Johnny or anything like that. It's just, I feel like that Ponyboy resonated with me the most. Considering I feel like him the most, and I feel like that I do have that disconnect with some other people or kids at my school as well, and kind of like feeling like an outsider because I'm a theater kid.
Right. Well, but you know what? I have to say that I think, and thank goodness over time, I think the theater has kind of become the cool thing. Like back, well, I'm not going to say that. I mean, nobody wants to be no, I'm serious. Everybody says there's, oh, they're just one of the theater geeks. I was involved. So it's like, come on, jump to my side. We're cool kids. But the reason I say that is because, first of all, once you start looking at theater as a team sport, the theater sometimes prevents you from participating in sports because you can't run those schedules together.
It takes up way too much time.
Exactly.
We stay, like for Tech Week, until 11.
Right.
And still have a drive home. So we put a lot of time into it. And I always say this, acting is the best team sport. Because you have to work with so many other people and connect with them and be so emotionally open with them that it's nothing like any other team building exercise.
And I
ever.
think it's also a case where you also have to bring your best gameplay to the table.
yeah, exactly.
You're just doing it on the stage. You're not doing it on the field or the court. You have to bring your best gameplay. Otherwise, you're not going to have an overall great team performance.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think people are starting to see that a little bit more. So I'm hoping that's getting a lot other people involved in the theater. I hope
hope so.
that's the case. And
Yeah.
and you know what? That's going to depend on you guys. It's how you present yourselves and tell people and use your time to put up on your podium and preach some theater here, my friends. All right,
Physically.
there you go. Huh?
I was just saying, physically, it's a lot like a sport as well. Because you mentioned the rumble that we have. The rumble in this play is something to see.
You need to go
Because
see
we
it.
have been working on that nonstop for months now, and there is just so much going on stage. We are doing all sorts of tumbles and punches, and I won't spoil anything, but
Yeah.
Wait, it's
gonna be good. It's something to see.
Yeah, for people who haven't read the book or seen the movie, who was responsible for the choreography, Jonathan?
Oh,
Hired a professional fight choreographer.
Did you? Yeah. So
Assistant as well.
so that.
Effects and all kinds of things.
Really? So that is a lot of work, even from the lighting and you guys. If you think about like a cartoon, this is how I always equate it to somebody's task to have that come across on stage. Is in the old school days of cartoons and things like that, they used like lighting that said "kerpow," or they did things like that help explain. Yeah, to help explain, and even if you read a comic book, that was supposed to explain the sound effect of what was happening. So you guys are having to bring that to the table. Now, was the emotional part of this hard? Because it does get to be you run the gamut from being vulnerable, right, to trying to be tough, to trying to be the greaser, to trying to be open to love. I think there's even Cherry, or I can't remember which one is, but so it goes all over from one kind of emotion up to another. Was that something that was easy for you guys to do, or a challenge for you guys to do? Do you like it?
No, it was not easy. But we have a wonderful director who helped us. But despite the hardship, you kind of find how to do it. It's almost like a weird path you have to go down. Because especially Pony, he's emotionally open. He's emotionally intelligent, and the other greasers don't understand that as much. And when he does have that connection with them, they kind of push back.
I think because there's a vulnerability to him.
Yeah, right. There's a vulnerability to him that the other greasers don't understand and don't want to do because they feel like they're weak.
And I think on the other side, I think that's probably the big part that Pony Boy brings to the table is
Yeah.
it does make them see that in themselves.
Yeah.
I think you fight so hard to have that on the back table and let nobody see that because it means you're not tough.
Right.
Right? So that's what I mean, like the emotion that has to come through this. Now, the play is actually going to be, I think, kicking off, is it June 21st, right?
that's right.
So June 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And is it running 2 weekends?
3 weekends.
3 weekends. So that really is a commitment on your part. Now from casting until now, Jonathan, why don't you I want to real quickly just get him, and I know you guys aren't going to mind because he's the Superman behind it. So from Jonathan, if you don't mind me kind of squeezing in here, how long has it run maybe from the casting of this to actually bringing it almost to the stage on the 21st? So how long has this process been?
In here on the mic. It's been, we cast it the beginning of March. I think it was that first week of March. And what is it now? End of June. So it's been 3 months, 3.5 months. But the process started back in December when I got the rights for the show and already started blocking it and coming up with different ideas for the show. So it's been a 6-month or 7th-month process.
And I can validate how excited he was when he got the rights because I saw it immediately on his social media. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Yeah, so that's, I think, the very first post I sent back to you. I have to say, too, even from appearance and then hearing voices and looking at you, you cast the perfect people for these roles.
I always say it's rare that you get the exact people you want that come into an audition room. We didn't have to make any compromise on a single character. They're all typecasted as their roles. We got about 60 people that came out for the audition. The show calls for 18. We let in, I think, 23, maybe 24 people just to get a few more people involved. So, yeah, we were really lucky that we got the people that came out for it because it's a perfect cast for the show.
It certainly is. And do you recommend that people go to independentplayers.org to get the tickets, or where would you recommend they go to get those tickets?
Yeah, get the tickets in advance at independentplayers.org. You can also bring cash or check at the door, but I would highly recommend getting them ahead of time before it sells out.
And no card, right?
No card at the door. No.
No card at the door.
Nice, nice. Got it. So no sales at the door you're talking. Is that what you mean?
No, you can bring check or cash at the
Yeah.
door. Just
Oh,
no
got
card.
it. So
We'll
no
rip up your
credit card
card.
at the door. Got it, got it, got it.
I'll be down with the job.
So
We'll go greaser on you.
there you go. Go greaser on you. It's all warm up. It's kind of like doing the afterglow. You know, you just do it ahead of time. All right. So the 21st and 22nd, if I understand, the Friday and Saturday nights are running at 7:30, and then there's going to be a matinee for people who want to on the Sunday shows. Correct? Yes. Did any of you guys? I want to answer you this really quick, and I know I'm keeping you longer than I promised, but did any of you guys know each other ahead of this performance? I know you said you were buddies with you two were buddies.
Me and him were buddies.
You
since
two were
birth.
buddies. Okay.
I knew Nick. We did a show once together, and that was it.
Okay.
So we kind of had our like contacts, and we're just like, hi. I guess we kind of knew each other, and then I met this guy first time.
Yeah.
Well, because you said it's been 10 years since you've been in theater. Did you? What did you do before? Was it in this area? You from the area?
So I'm actually from Chicago, so I'm driving out long ways every day to make this happen. But I had been taking some acting classes in downtown Chicago for the last year or so, and this was one of the first shows that I auditioned for. So I'm really feeling grateful to have this part.
And I tell you what, we've been promoting, I don't know if you guys have seen the for-profit that was done in town here. We've been promoting that all week and had actors in, and I have to tell you, you guys have stood up and really done a great job, even for these people that have been made it into a film. So different movie, but just having cast members in here, knowing the hard work that goes behind it, from even casting, and knowing that you said you had that many people on it. We're going to recommend, check it out, guys, independentplayers.org. Again, we have Nick coming in as Johnny, Liam as Ponyboy, Brick as Dallas, and Julian as Two-Bit. So even his little bow brings it to the
Typecast.
table. Typecast, there you go.
Gotta do my job.
Is there one part that you want to recommend people watch for, that you guys, the scene that you guys enjoy doing the most, or you get excited for during
I don't know
each
if it's a
run
spoiler
through?
if I say it.
There's so many spoilers.
There's so many
The
spoilers.
whole play, every single moment.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the best thing to
I'll
say.
say one. I won't describe it, but I'll say there's a fountain scene.
Okay, got it.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we'll leave it at that. You
If
can
you've
tell,
read the book or watched the movie,
You would know.
yep, go watch the show.
you can tell how passionate these guys are. So I want to say thank you all for joining me today here at WRMN. We wish you great success. I know it's going to be a wonderful show. Again, it is running 3 weekends. It's going to be the 21st, 22nd, 28th, and 29th, and then it's what is that? The 5th and 6th is the final one. It goes into July, right?
To the 7th.
Got it. And then the Sunday matinees. So the shows on Fridays and Saturdays are at 7:30, and the matinees on Sundays are at 2 o'clock. Remember, go to independentplayers.org and get those tickets, because I'm going to tell you right now, if it is not sold out by opening night, as soon as opening night comes on board, it will sell out quickly. So I'm just going to recommend you do it quickly, because that word of mouth is going to get shouted out if there's not any sold out already. But you'll find it out on the website, independentplayers.org. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Great job. All right, we're going to go to a real quick commercial break. We'll be back with more Radio Shopping Show here at WRMN in just a bit.
Imagine planting, tending, and
You're-
raising your crops all season long.